I used to be the main primary, right? So like everything went through me. I felt like I was managing a facility. Um, and I came from management. And so I would come up with every possible thing that I could to make sure that everything flowed nicely. Like when my son was little, he had a tendency to have blowouts. And so I would bring extra diapers, extra wipes, extra clothing, and then have this other bag that I would put the poo in so that it could not touch the other things, and then we could still do the things that we were doing. You know, I got my kids into baseball, I got my kids into gymnastics, I got them into dance, I got them into XYZ, like I got them into everything. I came home after picking the kids up, and I would put some fun things on flat screen, or you know, pull out the crayons and coloring books and attack dinner. I make good spaghetti. I make a good spaghetti. And I make a good chili, too. I don't think I've ever made it the same. That's how good it is. And then after that, I would get them ready for bed after they ate. I'd have them eat. We'd eat at the dinner table or in front of the TV, depending on the day. And we would eat, and there would be a mess there. And then I would take them to the tub, and we would just like clean each other up. And that's when my ex would come in. You know, she would come home either sometimes after bath, but most of the time during or just before. She would eat. We wouldn't really talk. She would give the kids a bath and be engaged with them, and then we would divide and conquer. Like I would take either my son or my daughter to her bed, his bed, or vice versa. And then when we laid in bed, I would read a book. I always read a book or two or 3 or 4 before going to bed. That's like the most important thing you could do as a parent. And when we would go to bed, I'd fall asleep multiple times. There's been multiple times where I like wake up at 2 or 3 or even 4 in the morning. I think I remember one time. But there was no real connection between me and my partner. You know, like she would go one way, fall asleep with him. She just had a long day. I've had a long day, you know. But I would wake up and clean the house. I would wake up and pack the lunches for tomorrow, you know, like pick up the toys, clean the kitchen table, clean the pots, the pans, all the things. Put it all back together. Take the dog back out just to get it out, and then make sure the kitty box was clean, you know. And then I would go back into the room that my spouse was at and like try and shake her leg to like wake up. Like, come on, let's hang out for a little bit. I know it's pretty late. Just come sit with me while I watch some TV and unwind. Multiple times I've tried that and it didn't happen. Now, I'm not trying to say this is an excuse for what I've done or for what others have done or anything like that, but it's just like a little insight to how hard it really can be to constantly be picking people up and no one to pick you up. It's crazy making. It really is. Anyways, been a minute since I posted. Trying to just survive, you know, financially it's been really tough. So hopefully you guys can forgive me. Have a good night.